Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Let's see. Go. All right, Billy, we will go with Coach in five, four, three, two, one. Well, hi, everyone. I'm Dave DeNatale from WKYC Channel 3, and we welcome you to a special conversation with the head coach of the Cleveland State Vikings men's basketball team, Dennis Gates. Coach, it's great to see you. We're going to talk basketball here in a minute, but it's just great to see you. How have you been? How's your family doing? How's the team doing as we continue to go through this crazy time here with the COVID pandemic?
Well, Dave, I appreciate you guys having me on, featuring our program and talking about an unbelievable topic that's very important for our civic engagement. Hope all is well with your family, friends, loved ones as well. We're doing well. We're doing well as a family. The Gates family is doing great. Our program, Cleveland State University men's basketball team, players, alumni, everyone is doing just fine. And I'm just excited to obviously, be here this morning and discuss such a topic. And I think it's important, like I said, to highlight not only the basketball portion, but off the court, how we actually are intentional with the growth of our young men, and obviously navigating this COVID related community that we're in now. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, with Cleveland State right now, the campaign is continuing. It's like a presidential campaign. It's Vikings Vote, and the men's basketball team right at the center of that. Coach, you took your team out last Friday over to the Board of Education, encouraging people to get out and vote, nonpartisan, but go out there, do your part to vote. And then also got a chance to head over to where the debate was held, the presidential debate last night. As we record this on a Wednesday, Tuesday night, over at the Sampson Pavilion at the Health Education Campus. Let's start first with the idea of going out into the community. It's one thing to say it; it's another thing to actually be out in front of it.
Well, I think it's important that we educate our young people, not just on registering to vote, because there's a lot in between actually just signing up and registering and walking in or getting your mailing ballots and actually exercising the right that so many people before us have fought for. Voting is a fascinating process after we peel back the layers of the historical inequalities that surrounds it. This country has made progress. There is no doubt about it compared to 1776 until now. But it's important that we educate and limit the fears and the intimidating components that can allow a first-time registered voter to not actually exercise the right. So I wanted to have our guys get out there, see what behind the scenes would be like. And like I said, I wanted them to embrace the process and not run from it, because those lines are going to look longer than what they are because of the 6 feet of social distancing that's required. And having someone hands-on at the Board of Elections to give us a so-called field trip, it was amazing. And our guys, I saw our guys grow, and it was a victory. We won that day. I think Cleveland State basketball notched the W in that column.
In the past, and maybe you might disagree, but in the past, I feel like something like this would not have been as hands-on for coaches and players because of this idea. Well, we have to shield them from what's going on outside. But maybe it's because it's 2020, because of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Jacob Blake, and what is happening. There is a call for our young people to be more engaged, more informed, and more involved. And this is a perfect opportunity, for a learning experience for everybody.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll take it a step further. The seed at which my charge has been planted comes from George Raveling and Leonard Hamilton, both of whom drank from the colored water fountain and was denied privileges of eating in certain restaurants or staying in certain hotels with their own basketball team. These are guys who integrated different areas of their playing, their college life, as well as the industry of coaching. So I've been charged with this at the very beginning, even before the recent highlighted of social injustices. Now, this is a reoccurring theme. It has happened over a period of time. You think about Rodney King in the early 90s, right? This is a reoccurring. It's just more, I guess, filmed because of social media, and it's a widespread education, and it's normal to now know what's going on in different cities and different pockets. So that charge was planted by Coach Rav and Coach Ham. And ever since we took over the program, me and my staff has wanted to educate our guys, no matter what city we've gone to. We wanted to visit historical sites that is meaningful, okay? And now is more emphasis put on it from a wide range because everyone recognizes the need to not just educate, but to also change the course of our history. There is no American history without Black history, without Asian American history, without Latin American history. There is no American history without that. And it's our job as citizens in this country to right the wrong, not point the fingers, but find solutions. And part of that solutions is to educate our kids the way that we have and the way that we will continue to do so.
Reminder, on the website, csuvikings.com, there are links to how you can find out more about voting, to your Board of Elections. It's an education of elections, if you will.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, but there are links and there's more information about Vikings Vote, so you can find out more about what we're talking about online. And also, quick plug for Channel 3, we've got a voter guide at wkyc.com to help you out for those who are interested as well. You mentioned Coach Raveling and Coach Hamilton. I mean, those are two of your mentors, and it's almost like it's a passing on of the torch, so to speak. They imparted you with life lessons. Now you're giving them to your team, your coaching staff. How have those conversations been as the summer progressed and this call for racial injustice really kind of intensified? How are those conversations team-wide?
Well, it's unbelievable, but I first have to, I keep a lot of older, wise people around me. I'm not afraid to call and transparently let them know I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm guided by a lot of good people. You think of Coach Rav and him standing on the podium with Martin Luther King in 1963, right? You think of Leonard Hamilton and his entire story. I just truly believe, and I may not be answering your question right now, I truly believe, Dave, that I have been given a sort of highlight in my coaching that I would have to highlight it and make sure these guys and everyone that I coach actually understands, because that's where I'm from. That's the cloth I'm cut from. Now, holistically, not just our program, the entire university athletic department, our president, our AD, the charge is to have these young people, our student athletes and students, to have a transformational experience. And it's a fleeting moment of 4 years that they have here at this institution and under our care, but it's a lasting impression that they will use 20 years from now. They will reach back and say, what did coach, what did my professor, what did my president, what did my AD do in this moment? And that's the part that we have to continue to cultivate and galvanize. To go along with the specifics, Chase Goldstein. Chase has done a great job, our director of operations. He's done a great job. All in vote. He is the ambassador for the Horizon League Conference, where he has made sure that each member basketball program has done no different than what we've done. And that's making sure our guys are registered, make sure they're educated. And then you look at, our SAC here on campus. Mariah White on the women's basketball team has spearheaded the entire athletic department in this area. So our institution as a whole has done an unbelievable job of moving this forward, but also giving a platform to our young people where they feel a part of the change. It's not a directive, it's more them being participating in what's going on.
Yeah, we're talking about Vikings Vote. We're talking about the Cleveland State Vikings and the men's basketball program kind of spearheading and being out in front along with the rest of the athletic department, encouraging you, if you haven't done so, register to vote. And again, there are links at csuvikings.com to find out more about that. Okay, now I got to talk a little bit of basketball with you. This crazy 2020 after this pandemic kind of robbed us of what would have been a great tournament. How are you, kind of, not knowing exactly how this is going to play out, how many games we're going to be able to play and when we're going to go. I think everybody's confident we're going to play, like we've seen with football, like we've seen with baseball. We're going to play. But how are you with the uncertainty of how it's going to play out once we get, clearance and we can go and we can do this thing?
Right. I just think, I think that you're asking just in terms of how do we navigate it? How are we continuously being able to function? We have to be flexible. We have to be understanding. We have to, not point at the problems, but try to find solutions. A lot of people have been impacted since March. And it's not just about sports. Sports is used as an avenue to bring people together, to forget about, for a moment, pause those things that's really happening around us and give some type of camaraderie and togetherness and some happy feelings. But the reality is, Dave, this pandemic is not going to just shut off immediately. We have to continue to work together amid the crises that's going on. We have to continue to help lead these young people. Higher education as a whole has been flipped upside down. It's not just with basketball. Let's look at the science. Let's look at the music. Let's look at the math. Let's look at all different departments, not just athletic. Everyone has been flipped upside down. And for these professors, and my hat's off to them, to adjust what they have been taught for so many years and what they have taught, been able to function, it has been changed. It has flipped. And they've adjusted no different than our young people have. And we're in it together. I'm just excited about our leadership on campus. President Sands has done an unbelievable job with his transparency, with his leadership, and his senior team. They've done an unbelievable job of keeping the Cleveland State community safe. And that is something I'm proud of. And obviously, Scott Garrett, our athletic director, we've met every month as a entire department. We've been in constant communication, and he's been talking to us, every program on this campus, about the direction and how we have to continue to navigate. My heart is out for those student athletes that may be going through their first year of college or even their last, right? Or even their last, because ultimately we have to understand this is their impression, whether it's the beginning or lasting impression of this is their senior year before they go into the real world, that they remain and learn the things that are being taught that applies to the real world. And that's, being flexible, being understanding, and being able to navigate.
Yeah, that's been kind of a theme, though, in our conversation. It's been navigating, and whether it's trying to navigate the players and the program to do the right things and to be out in front and to spearhead the Vikings Vote, or just navigate their way through uncertain times on campus and in life. And it's all about these life lessons, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, man. And like I said, being able to be a leader in this moment, it's almost like I'm getting an extra feather in my cap that I can say that I've navigated a program during a pandemic. Not many coaches are going to be able to say that, right? But also with this being the end of my first year going into my second, that it's happening, I think it's given me an extra layer and my staff an extra layer of understanding, building a program, being able to, continue to push the positive mindset when it comes to academic performance, being able to, make sure these guys are continuing to do community service things, because the world, although we're going through it, it doesn't stop. And it's our job to keep things as normal as possible under the conditions at which we're operating. And I'm just excited where we are. I'm excited about the growth on the court that our guys have definitely been attached to. They have done an unbelievable job of, and our captains have done an unbelievable job of making sure that our newcomers and our program is moving forward. There's no successful basketball program without great inter-team leadership, and that's coming from the players.
Yeah, that was, I know when you first got this job, I remember having conversations with you about that, it can't just be me and my coaching staff. This team has to be able to lead from within and be able to, hold each other accountable. And that starts usually with the upperclassmen, but it's being able to hold each other accountable, that we're doing the right things on the court, in the classroom, as gentlemen and as community members. And obviously that continues to be the charge of Coach Gates and company.
Yeah. We have Al Javon Eichelberger, Deontay Johnson, Torrey Patton, and Craig Bothwan as our leaders. And they have done a remarkable job within their personalities, because all four of those guys, young men, are different, but they've done an unbelievable job of reeling in our new guys, because at that point, when you look at the pandemic, that it can cause division. It can cause a delay in your team building. But our guys were able, because we had certain team rules, to pull those guys in, make sure they're checking in with them throughout the summer while they were apart at home. And then once we got on campus, they've been able to put their arms around them and make sure that they understand the responsibility we have socially, the responsibility we have as a institution, and how we have to carry the message that the president and our athletic director is given. We have to carry it. We have to walk it. We have to talk it. And our guys have done a great job at that. I'm excited about it. And right now, we have practice. We're doing individual workouts. We're doing small groups right now, part method teaching, and it's I think it's a learning process for us all.
But if you think about where, and you can't put the pandemic out of your mind, but 12 months ago, you, or a little bit more, but 14 months ago, you came in and, kind of were literally thrown into this thing virtually at the last minute. I gotta believe, just from your relationship with the players, your relationship with your staff, your relationship with the university, there's gotta be more comfort internally. Now, of course, externally, there are pandemics and things going on and that you're dealing with, but just from a comfort standpoint, I would imagine it's got to feel pretty good now, that you've had time to kind of settle in and really get into this program.
Yeah, my credit is to our staff. Okay, we have an unbelievable staff: Rob Summers, Ryan Sharbaugh, Drew Joyce, Chase Goldstein. We have Dickie Nutt, who's been a college head coach for over 20 years. And then our video coordinator, Rosby Mutcherson. They've done a great job of I think, in their own right, amid this pandemic. I'm only as good as our program and our players, our managers, our grad assistants, even our athletic trainer, our strength and conditioning coach, our academic advisor. we're all in this together. We're a team, and we have to operate in that mentality. And, you know, we've had weekly meetings, and, you know, there isn't a time that I call these guys that they don't pick up or beat me to the punch. I can come up with an idea in my mind, and then all of a sudden one of these coaches or assistants or trainers, they're calling me with the same mindset, the same idea. And that's rewarding, man, to work with people and be lockstep, lock arm, as we navigate. Now, moving forward, we have to continue to grow. It's going to be very important that we continue to grow in a direction where one day we can cut down some nets, and that starts with the nurturing of everything around us, and then that spills right into the court, Dave, in every action, every move, every mentality, every game. And then when we win the day in practice, we'll then be able to win the games, the tough games. And that's why I highlighted us going to the Board of Elections. We won that day. We got to win. And we got to continue to build onto the brick by brick. We got to continue to build.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
Oh, not at all.
Nope.
Not at all.
There's no off season for Coach Gates and the Vikings, and it's one of the things I love with covering this team so closely. Coach, I appreciate your time. One last again. If people want to go to and learn more about registering to vote, its links is right on the website. Just give you a chance again to encourage, if you want to say anything more about this initiative to get people to vote, jump right in.
I would say this, and we had the city of Cleveland was at the center of the world last night as we hosted the 2020 debate. Once again, I come from a non-partisan perspective when I say this. It's going to be important that our young people understand that they are our future. I don't want them to get discouraged or distracted with what media coverage is saying about the presidential debate. They don't need to confuse it with what reality TV has given them, because if you look at the course of history and other debates, this debate has been like no other, right? But they have to engage civically and protect our democracy and make sure that it does not change, as it's the longest standing form in the country, right? Or in the world.
That's right.
Real change happens when we exercise our right to vote. And exercising the right to vote has not always been given to any and everybody, right? It has been, racially charged. It's been so many systematic things that hindered one's ability, men, women, different races, whatever it is. I just think we have to participate in the vote. Make sure you go out and vote. And there's more than a presidential election on the line. Real change happens when you vote with the local ballots, the state ballot, and different ballots. And then you can see the change happening in your pocket of your city and et cetera. So I want to encourage everybody to go out there and vote, participate, go to your local Board of Elections, look it up. There's so many different, organizations out there that's talking about voting, Dave. And I just wish, everyone goes out, exercise their right, don't get discouraged, limit all fears, and let's continue to protect our democracy. No matter who you vote for, protect our democracy, go out and participate. Make sure you focus on the local ballots, the other side of the ballot, hashtag complete your ballot. It's not just a presidential election on the line.
That's right. Decisions are made. A wise man once said, decisions are made by those who show up.
There you go.
So make sure you show up to vote. CSUVikings.com. There are links. There are more about Vikings Vote and helpful links for you to get out there and vote. Coach, it's great to see you. We're going to be chatting next month, so I'm looking forward to that. And great to see everybody out there. I can't wait to talk more Vikings basketball. But remember, vote. Register to vote.
Go vote. Go vote. Thank you. Go Vikes. Thank you, Dave.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. All right, Coach. good stuff.
Thank you,
I mean, I
man.
think we got everything in there we wanted to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good, man. I
All
appreciate
right,
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Billy, I work for you.
That was perfect. Yeah. So
All right.
I will